Losing My Vision is not actually released yet, and we just up on pre-order on Flipkart. Like yesterday we came on Flipkart actually. So the pre-order is up right now, and the book is going to be released in the second week of February. How I became an author. I was really shy. I never played marbles. I never went on to play cricket and stuff. Like, afraid to go and ask them. Even if I played, I was like made to field somewhere. Never even like bowling or batting stuff like that. Right? That's how my life was going. I went to a basketball match where my school was playing a basketball match with another school. Everybody's like rooting for these guys there. Like, come on, you can do it, and stuff like that, right? And I can see the energy in the field. I want to be there to play basketball. Like any other kid would be. I think. I went there to the field for the audition. He's like, "What is Vishwas Mittal doing here?" I was like, that time I was kind of frail. I was like really tired at the time when I came to shoot. Right? I still remember. I don't think so. Even I could touch the board or something like that when he asked me to do some stuff. Right? I love basketball. All I wanted to become was a basketball player. One thing you need to do is you need to aim high for sure, but you never give up, right? You just need to continue doing what you have to do, right? And then you believe in yourself, and then you pick up yourself, you fall. It was really funny that the next year I didn't even want to go for the audition because I was so hurt, right? And they already told me that you'll never ever become a basketball player. Something happens when you fail, right? Basically, it kind of hurts you somewhere, and especially you love something. I went to the board to see after 2 months whose name was there on the board. The first name was Vishwas Mittal. The captain of the team to get announced was Vishwas Mittal. So for me, life had suddenly changed. God believed that you're born to do great things, right? I started believing that I can do anything at all. Okay? Golden doctrine that I'm talking about, it's practical stuff. People kick ass all the time. People come up wild because somebody is trying to put them down. Somebody is trying to put them down in a thing that you wanted to be good at. You loved it, and that's what happened. And those guys didn't do it purposely or something. You sucked at it, maybe. So they did it, but things worked for you in that direction. So life is like that, right? So that's the whole point that I wanted to make. While you were driving to this place, one of my childhood friends calls me today because he sees my book on Flipkart. It's there on number 3 list today. So he calls me and then he tells me that it's amazing. How do you do this? For you, everything is so easy. He doesn't know. I've taken 5 freaking years. I've bled. I've worked like crazy. I've worked crazy hours to write that book. 5 years. Nobody knows it. Everybody has their struggles. Murphy's Law works in mysterious ways. Murphy's Law, it's always like that. We always feel the grass is greener on the side. We feel that it's easier for those guys to do it. But why is that they got it right? Because there's something right they did. They learned it, right? So when I was in 12th grade, right? So after I finished my plus 2 exams, I was doing it in Mysore and I went back to North Karnataka, just to a small town where I come from. It's called Gadag. So I went there, and then in Mysore we had like internet that time, right? It was 1999, I think. So Infosys was coming up, and we have all these companies. So in Mysore there was internet and stuff like that, and people are like, I got to know that people are like way ahead. I mean, I would go there and it's like a village, right? So I realized that something needs to be done here. People need to understand what is computer literacy. People need to know what's going on here, right? So why did I even feel that? So from the time after the basketball incident happened in my life, I think I stood second or something for the college that I was in, stuff like that. So things were going good, and I come back and something tells me that I need to do something, right? An itch, something, right? I have to create stuff, right? Like by painting. I like to paint. I like to sketch. I like to write poems. I used to write poems. So creativity and then competitiveness. So I like to create stuff. So I said I inquired with BSNL. So we are going to be the first guys in the town to get the internet. They're going to put a wire from Hubli to Gadag. It's 60 kilometers or whatever. So they're going to put the first main line for us. It's like, man, what the hell is this? From how long you've been thinking about it, right? I I didn't know that that's called a business plan. I didn't know it's called a business plan. I mean, now I think all those terms, right? I was a kid. How do I know? Because basically, I had created a business plan for the venture, and the venture was all about very simple, like that. It was called InfoVision. So I started my first venture that time. It was great. I think I learned a lot of stuff that time, right? How to pick a chair for your center. Where do you get your software? Your hardware? What are you going to do? Like how do you make your logos and stuff like that? I loved it, right? Because it's your baby. You create it in front of your eyes. There's nothing like it, right? So you're in control. You decide you're going to do it. You also have the limitations in your end. You know the limitations. You know where you want to go. It's amazing. You have the power. You're God to whatever you want to do, right? I was like 18, man. I'm chasing people and all that stuff, and people asking me, why are you doing all this? Why don't you go out and have fun, watch Kuch Kuch Hota Hai was released that time. Stuff like that, right? I mean, so basically that kind of stuff. Why should I do that? But I got a kick. I learned a lot of stuff that time, right? We figured out that it's better off we just shut that business, because we already had trained like hundreds of students, right? And then people are like really thankful for what I did, and it gave me pride, and at least I showed some of the kids a path. One thing even that time I had was a vision, right? I used to tell people, okay, this is what you need to do. This is where you need to go. You need to come to Bangalore. I'm a big advocate of Bangalore. Tell everybody to come to Bangalore. That is because this is where we feel that this is a new India, right? Basically. People are sitting there, they don't understand anything. So it's like, man, you need to, if you study this, you want to go to Bangalore. You can get a job, right? That kind of stuff. I need to tell people that time, right? So, yeah, so I had a lot of cuts, man. That's one thing I had, which I had picked up from basketball fiasco. My dad has been my investor, basically, for a lot of things, right? Thank him for that. And he's really encouraged me for everything, right? I had no success in it, basically, but I just wasted my money and stuff. At the end of 4 years, I realized only one thing. I have to be shameless. Because that's the most practical advice or the most practical thing anybody can tell you. That you have to experiment as a youth. If I had not done modeling, if I had not done selling computers, if I had not done all those things, I have done a ton of other things. If I had not done all those things, right, what would I be today? Nothing, right? Because all those things, all that experience, all added to me because I experimented, because I did not hesitate. I did not feel shame, basically, because I had gotten rid of it. Slowly, yeah, that's what I had done, right? So in that case, I did a couple of other businesses and stuff like that. Some of them worked, some didn't work. Some we lost some money, some we made some money. So things like that. We got conned also. I also got married during that time. And then whatever little money I had left, spent in the marriage, right? So they came to a point where I was like left with like nothing almost, right? And I was so broken. I was heartbroken. I didn't know what to do next, right? When an idea comes to me, it's like a lightning. It hits me like a lightning and wakes me up. If it doesn't happen, I'll not do it. It's impossible for me to do it. Something just stuck to me, right? I just felt that I need a fresh start, stuff like that. And I was like, why not I write about my situation right now, what I'm in right now. So basically, I'm like lost my faith. I don't know why I started my company first of all. Why am I in this situation right now? Maybe I should write about it. Then I was like, man, I think I should write about me. And what happens if at all a person like me at this point in time, it just takes a break like that guy, he just takes off, and then goes off, right? So then I started writing about this story about this guy who in the same situation. He's broke, he's basically lost belief in why he's doing something, started a company, and something happened, and then he meets this guy, a hippie, an American hippie, and then the hippie is like exactly opposite him, right? The hippie is like if this guy wants to like achieve everything in his world, the hippie doesn't want to do anything. Right? He's like the most contented guy on earth, basically. And then he tags along with him and then goes on a journey. So that is what Losing My Religion, the book, is all about, right? Basically, and then how he bounces back in his life and stuff. And it's out and out entertainment, basically. I wrote 50 pages. I wrote 4 chapters of the book. I went to my wife and it's like I wrote a novel. I was writing a novel. She's like, what? This is what you're doing at home, sitting nothing, doing nothing? And she's like, I told her that, man, I'm writing a novel. It's my passion and I've written it, you read it. And I forced her to read it. She was reading the novel and I could see her face. She was getting so annoyed with it, right? So annoyed with it, right? And then after an hour or something, we were just talking and then completely trashed it. And she's like, what the hell have you written? It's like completely junk and stuff like that, right? And why have you written this? Why are you wasting my time and stuff like that, right? I don't know what happened to me that time. I was so hurt. I was so hurt. I don't know why I was so hurt, right? It's crazy. I realized that I was hurt because maybe I wanted to write a story because I always had in my mind that someday I'm going to write my novel or something like that, right? So I loved writing. Right? Basically, what you love, what you're passionate about, and people try and show you a mirror, and then you get very, very demotivated. Basically, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So and then I got very hurt that day. I didn't even talk to her that night. I think a month or so passed by, right? And then I had just given it up, and then something told me, man, write that story again. You cannot do that. You got to write it because I loved it so much. I believed in that idea. I knew where the protagonist has to start and where it has to end. I didn't know anything else in between how I need to write the story. Man, you got to write it because you know why? I told myself, why I had to write it? Because I want to read that story. I'm the audience. I'm the writer. I want to read the story. If nobody reads it, it's fine. I want to read it. So I wrote it again, right? She's like, again you come back to me. It's the same story. And I was like, man, you gotta read it. At least read it whenever you have time. And I think she got time the next couple of days, and she read it, and she came and she told me. She looked at me like this. Man, you gotta write a story. She couldn't put that thing down. She finished 4 chapters, and she's like, you have to finish it, right? She wanted to read it. She wanted to read it because it was that good. That's what she said, and that gave me the motivation to do amazing things. Basically, so I went here to write Losing My Religion. So this is the cover of the book. It took me like 5 years to write the book, right? And 150 drafts. I basically lived with the characters, right? The 3 protagonists in that. So basically, I lived with them pretty much. I used to talk to them. I went crazy actually. And create a parallel universe. It is so amazing that you can be like a god to those characters, right? You can do whatever you want. This is my quote. What I've written. Entrepreneurs are basically different beasts. Beasts who don't give a damn, who kick ass when required, who stand to a challenge, who rise time and again with utter disregard to fear or failure, right? These are beasts who run the world. So this is what I feel. This is what it is on Flipkart. I would really appreciate if you guys want to read the story of the protagonist's name is Rishi, and he goes out on a journey with Alex, this crazy American hippie, and then they go to the Himalayas. What they do there, and then they're actually no problem. They don't know where they want to go next. That's the whole point. So Go Amigo is a partner because they love the book. It's about travel, so they wanted a partner. So we have partnered with Flipkart as well. Right now, things are going in the right direction. So we are already on number 3 in the pre-order list in the bestsellers. It got some pretty good reviews. I hope that people will connect with it. So it's got a lot of business stuff also in it. Like these guys also go to Home Beach and they like run a shack. Right? They basically take a bankrupt shack and they convert it. And I've also spoken about Kumbh Mela and what happens in the Kumbh Mela business and stuff like that. In a very entertaining way, right? It's like a mainstream commercial fiction, right? So that's about it. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you.